Buy more when a buy now, pay later loan is available. Consumers like them because the interest rate is often low or even zero, and these loans are not reported to the three main credit bureaus, so they don't affect a buyer's credit score. The danger is that these loans are so easy to get, especially if a consumer uses several different lenders. Economists will be watching closely. A high-spending holiday season may signal a booming economy, but not if consumers have gone too deeply into debt. I'm Jeff Colvin.
Rick and Bubba. Hey there, Rutherford County. It's Rick and Bubba, and we are pumped to be on WGNS. Be sure to join us weekdays noon till 2 right here.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Merry Christmas from all of us at News Radio WGNS. Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. Take control of your account management and energy consumption with the MyMTE app. You can download from the App Store and manage your account, improve your energy habits, and much more. MTE, serving to make life better since 1936. It's time to talk with our friends from the United Way of Rutherford and Cannon counties. And today we have Vicki Weatherford, the Launch Point coordinator, and joining her in studio is Haley Vaughn, the Launch Point success coach. And going to have some interesting conversation today about Launch Point. Vicki, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Good to have you, Haley, and good to have you too.
Yeah, good morning.
I've told Haley that she reminds me of about 3 different people, and so, we've had some interesting conversation about that this morning, and Vicki and I were talking about olden days, so we found you've been here quite a while, haven't you, Vicki?
I have. I've lived in Rutherford County probably about 27 years now, so I consider myself a local.
Yeah, have to after that amount of time. So I guess the first question is going to be, can you tell us about Launch Point? What is Launch Point? Give us an overview.
Sure. Launch Point was originally a program that we started from a small grant provided to us by State Farm that we worked with families in our VITA program in order to increase their financial stability. Well, just last year, we applied for a DHS grant to broaden that work that we were doing, and we received that grant this January of 2023. Our grant contract started. So now we have expanded the program in order to serve more families in Rutherford County, and we're working with a lot more community partners. So now we actually have funding that we're able to assist with childcare, transportation, just a lot of different issues that families are having so that they can reach financial stability and hopefully increase their savings and increase their credit scores.
It's interesting that it started with working with VITA. I guess that's where you saw some of the struggles that families were having. Is that right?
Absolutely, yeah. A lot of families who use the VITA program are within our ALICE threshold, and what that means is that they are employed, but they're unable to meet their monthly expenses. So that was where we saw one of the greatest needs within our VITA program, and our Launch Point program also will be participating with our VITA program this year as well. So we will have a coach at our VITA sites working with families and seeing if they're interested in the program, and so that we can work with them to hopefully increase their financial stability.
Now, the grant, does that offer the opportunity for many years of Launch Point? Is this a year-to-year thing? I mean, how long will Launch Point be here, do you think?
Sure. Well, right now it is a 2-year grant that will expire in December of 2024. It does have hopes of being able to renew the grant. So we are working to try to hopefully renew that grant this year.
Well, that's great.
Upcoming year.
Yeah. So lots of success, hopefully, from this. And Haley, you are a success coach. So kind of walk us through what a success coach is and what you do.
Sure, yeah. So I do success coaching with the families. So what I do day to day is meet with the families, work with them on what it is that's preventing them from getting to work, increasing their income, and saving so that they can, at the end become financially stable. So whether that's childcare, connecting them to that, transportation, any barriers that they might have, so that they can get to work. I typically do this on a monthly basis, just kind of depending on the client's needs. But yeah, that's sort of my day to day.
Sometimes it's, the cost of childcare versus the job that they might be able to attain kind of outweigh themselves, and right. Unless you can find some affordable childcare. I guess that's maybe one of the leading causes to say, well, I can't make enough to afford childcare. Is that one of the things that you hear?
Absolutely, yes. And we're very fortunate to have the grant because what we can do is if they are working, we want them to be able to continue that. And sometimes kids are sick or the child care falls through, we can come in and say, hey, we'll assist you with these payments until you can get on your feet enough to work this into your budget, because we have the financial coaching aspect of it as well.
Yeah. A lot of times those things can happen at last minute. We know kids get sick and then all of a sudden, I can't be at work, but if you don't come to work, then you can't have a job. And then that's the whole spiral that starts the issue.
Right. Right.
And so then you can come alongside and help in those situations.
Absolutely.
Well, that's a great Vicky's safety net, I guess, to have, because it can be awfully isolating, I would think.
Right. Yeah. We're reaching a lot of families who are in need, especially this time of year. This time of year is really hard for families. And so really what we want them to do is we want them to be able to save for their next crisis or their next car that might break down or a problem with childcare. So we really want to work with them in order to just be able to prepare for that next thing that might happen.
We are talking about the United Way's Launch Point with the coordinator, Vicki Weatherford, and a success coach, Haley Vaughn, here today. I would think, Vicki, that this takes partners here in the community, for instance, for childcare and transportation and that type of thing. So you must have been able to find folks who want to partner with the United Way in this.
Yeah, we've gotten some good partnerships. One of our partnerships under this contract is actually Dominion Financial, and Dominion Financial works with the families on financial coaching, being able to open up a savings account, looking at their credit score, also just looking at their monthly budget and creating a spending plan with the families. So we do have that partnership that works directly with our families. We've also been able to establish a lot of different community partners. We have some partners with some employers in the area. St. Thomas, Ascension St. Thomas, and Nissan, Molly Filters, along with some local churches that we are outreaching to, and we're actually receiving referrals from these employers for their employees.
So, Haley, you can not only help with childcare and financial planning and things of that nature, but maybe even jobs too.
Right. So partnering with the employers gives us the opportunity to work with their HR departments and identify some of those barriers as to why they're late for work or why they're not able to come, especially if that's not always the case and it is something that pertains to their child care or transportation.
And what about education in certain fields? I mean, is there an opportunity for there to be, some post-secondary education in some of the fields?
Definitely. We do partner with TCAT in Smyrna and Murfreesboro, as well as a couple other places to provide them with that post-secondary option. Even we'll support them through, as they want trainings and certificates and things at their jobs, just depending on what that is for them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Who is eligible? I mean, there may be someone, listening now, or the parent of someone that says, I think my kids could be eligible for this and could really help them, maybe give us maybe some of the guidelines there of eligibility.
Sure. So we work with low-income families, and what that means is we do have income guidelines from DHS, so we can go up to a certain amount, depending on the household size, things that could make them eligible as well. But we typically reach these clients through our employers and our churches. That's kind of how they typically get to us.
Sure. Yeah. So I guess they're oftentimes referred.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Vicki, how many, this program's been going on how long now? For a year?
We received the contract in January of this year, January 2023.
And do you have an idea, how many clients have you been able to help so far? Do you know?
So far, we have received 156 referrals for the program.
Yeah, and I'm sure some success stories within that too, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm sure Haley can definitely talk about some success stories that we've had recently. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you mind sharing something with us?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, there's been a couple of success stories, and, working with the clients, you get them on to your caseload, and you don't necessarily know what their story's going to be like. You get to know them, you get to know their kids, where they work, and all of that good stuff. And following them along through that, we've had clients who have been faced with eviction. One of a recent story that I could say is we had a client that was facing eviction. We helped them to get that paid up, and as soon as we thought that it was clear, good to go, she received an eviction notice on her door. So I went along with that client to court. We partnered with a local partner to get her a legal representative. And from there, we were able to prevent her eviction so that her and her kids can stay housed.
Oh, wow. Even all of that work, and there was still an eviction notice,
right.
and still went through that process. And I'm sure that without the help here, what she just had to feel like so overwhelmed, and without the help of LaunchPoint and a success coach, probably just like, what do I do?
Yeah, definitely. I remember she sent me a text and she said I would be homeless without United Way's assistance. And that was just like, that's what really made me feel like this is truly a success story. This is why Vicki and I do what we do.
Sure, absolutely. So great opportunity, and Vicki, if there's one story like that, it's wonderful, and just to know that LaunchPoint is helping hundreds right now, and who knows what this next year can offer as well. So once again, where can we find out more information about LaunchPoint?
Sure. They can go to our website at yourlocaluw.org and search for LaunchPoint. And there is information about LaunchPoint on our website. If anyone is also interested, they can also sign up for VITA. And the VITA registration will open on our website on January 20th, and a success coach will be at the VITA locations talking to families who come in who might need a little bit of extra assistance or would just like to increase their financial savings in order to move forward. So they will be also at our VITA sites.
Now, I know that we've got less than a minute or so, but Haley, I know that you must enjoy being a success coach, and there are some positions available. So I'm sure that if anybody would like to find out about being a success coach, you probably would champion them doing that, right?
I absolutely would, yes.
Yeah, very rewarding job, it sounds
absolutely.
Like. And so, Vicki, would they just maybe contact the United Way or you about that?
Sure. They can also go to our website at yourlocaluw.org/careers, and the job description is also on our website.
Sounds great. Well, thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
Our guests today in studio have been Vicki Weatherford, the LaunchPoint coordinator, and Haley Vaughn, LaunchPoint success coach, joining us today to talk about the United Way's LaunchPoint. And I want to thank you for joining as well. Don't forget, we've got the podcast on our website. Don't forget the YouTube channel if you want to go back and watch, also on Facebook and X. And again, thanks for joining us here on Rutherford Issues today. Have a great day.
Hello friends, Lenny Farmer with Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home. More than I can count,